And I hope you Muslims, where's the camera? Right there. I hope you Muslims are watching and listening, because this is for you Muslims. This is what I do everywhere. I talk to the Muslims. I want the Muslims to know that I'm talking to them. I want them to know that what I'm saying is for them. But you all need to know just how great our God is. So let's start with the very first category, and that's God himself. Now, hold on a minute. God. Do we not share the same God? How many believe that we share the same God as Islam? Raise your hands. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, you're going to be Abdul right now. You're going to be my Muslim, all right? Abdul. So you believe we share the same God. Okay, and what's his name? Jesus. No. You're a Muslim now. Allah. Okay. So is Allah the same as Yahweh in the Bible? You just said yes. You raised your hand. I'm going to remind you of that. You can't get away from me now. You raised your hand. Your name is Abdul now, okay? Wear on your Muslim cap. You're going to be a Muslim now. Don't think like a Christian. I'll convert you back. Don't worry. Before we leave, you'll be a Christian by the end of the session, okay? Yeah, that's right. You better do that. All right, so Abdul, you believe that we share the same God. Just say yes to everything I say, okay? Yes, sir. Okay. See, he's getting scared now. I love this. I've never heard a Muslim get scared of me, but you're going to be scared. That's the way I got you in the palm of my hand. Now remember, to be a Muslim means to be in submission, to be obedient. So be submissive, be obedient just for the next 15 minutes, okay? So we share the same God. Okay, his name is Allah. What's that mean? You have no idea. Do any of you know what Allah means? The what? No. Allah, the word Allah, the God. That's it. Is that a name? Not as far as I can see. The God. Now, you're the pastor, right? Yes. Is that a name? No. That's a title, right? So the pastor is a title. So what's his name? How do you know? Well, it's on all those pieces of paper you're going to say happy birthday to, right? So Jeff is his name, but his title is the pastor, right? You're a man, right? You're the man, but you have a name, don't you? Eric. So Eric, the man. So if I were to say, I represent the man, who am I talking about? Well, half the people in this room. But if I say, I represent Eric, that's only this guy sitting right here. So the problem with your God is he doesn't have a name, does he? Bungu, you got a problem. See, when Moses was there and God came to him in Exodus chapter 3, God was going to send him down to Egypt to bring back the Israelites, right? Moses did not want to go in Exodus chapter 3. And he tried over and over again to not go. Finally, he turns to God and says, give me your name, so when I go down to Egypt, those Israelites there in Egypt will know who I represent. It's important, if you are a prophet of God, that you should know God's name. Am I correct? If you're going to be a prophet of anybody, you better know who is it you're prophesying for, right? So when Moses wanted to go down to Egypt, they didn't know who he was. He could have been anybody. They wanted to know what God he represented. He wanted to know God's name. And what was the name that God gave him when he was there in Exodus 3? Anybody know that name? I am. What's it in Hebrew? Yahweh. Okay? English translation, I am who I am. So God said, this is my name. Look what he says in verse 15 and 16. This shall be my name forever, from generation to generation. Which means it still should be his name today, right? So Abdul, you say it's Allah, the God. I want his name. Give me his name. You don't know, do you? And in 40 years of working with Muslims, I have never seen a Muslim that can give me his name. That's the problem, folks. No Muslim knows God's name. But you all do. You certainly do. His name is Yahweh. It's only 4 letters, isn't it? Yaha, Waha. We just put the vowels in there. We think it's Yahweh. It could be Jehovah. Either one. This is your book, Abdul. You've seen it before. Just say yes. Can you read it? In Arabic? No. You may think you can read it in Arabic. So I want you to right now read what it says right there. I can't. You can't. Good on you. And 85% of Muslims in the world cannot read Arabic. Did you know that? Only 15% of all Muslims can read their own book. Because if you read the Quran, you have to read it in Arabic. So show me right now where Yahweh is anywhere in any of these pages. You cannot. See, he's being honest. You're a good guy. I thank you for that. You cannot find Yahweh's name anywhere in the Quran. What's more, Do you pray to him? Yeah? 5 times a day, right? 5 times a day. That means only 5 times he is actually in your presence. Is Allah in your presence? No. Is Allah able to be in your presence? No. Now, you're going to be my Christian, okay? What's your name?
Jennifer.
Jennifer, you're my Christian, right? Jennifer, do you pray every day?
Yes.
Do you pray only 5 times?
I pray all the time.
All the time? In the shower?
No.
In the toilet? Can you pray in the toilet? No, you cannot. No Muslim can pray to Allah in the toilet. Remember, you're a Muslim here. Boy, you're forgetting pretty quick. He doesn't want to remain a Muslim. I'm having a hard time keeping Abdul. Remember, you're a Muslim. I'm going to keep reminding you if you forget. Okay, Jennifer, right?
Yes.
You can pray anywhere, right?
Yes.
Even when you have your period, right?
Yes.
And in the toilet, right? And in any direction, right? And in any language, right?
Yes.
Right? So your God is everywhere, right?
Yes.
Yes. And when you pray to God, you know that He's right there with you, right?
Yes.
He's right standing next to you.
Yes.
What does that say about your God?
It says he's everywhere.
He is omnipresent. Omnipresent. Is your God omnipresent? No. Now you're getting jealous. All right, hold on. You're going to get even more jealous. So when you pray to God, what language do you pray in? Arabic. It's the only language you're permitted. Because your God only speaks one language. What language do you pray in?
I pray in English.
What about Hebrew?
Can.
If you knew Hebrew, or could you do it in Arabic?
Yeah.
Can you do it in any language?
Yes.
Which suggests to me that your God can speak every language. Your God can only speak one. Bingo. Who's got the bigger God here? Can you see already we're talking about 2 different gods, and yet you say we have the same God. Your God is pretty small. Your God is pretty small. If He cannot enter time and space, if your God cannot have any relationship with me, if your God cannot be face to face with me like her God can, I want nothing to do with your God. I want nothing to do with Allah. If your God doesn't even have a name, for goodness sakes, your God does. And you can talk to Him, can't you? And you can plead with Him, can't you? And you can ask Him questions, can't you? And He answers your questions, right? So when you pray 5 times a day, what do you pray? Bismillah al-Rahman al-Rahim, and you go through chapter 1, the Fatiha, and you do those 7 verses, right? That's what you were going to say. I know. I just jumped ahead of you on that one. Sorry. And when you do that, you pray it in the morning, right? Fajr. You pray it in the afternoon. You pray before sundown. You pray after sundown, and you pray before you go to bed. 5 times a day. 5 times a day. The same prayer every day, right? You don't change it. You don't dare change it. Why not? Because God will not let you change it. You don't pray because you're having problems. You don't pray because you want to be close to God. You don't pray because you do it. The only reason you do it is so that you can go and gain barakah, which means gain good points that the angel on your right shoulder is recording. See, every one of you, according to Islam, has an angel on your right shoulder and an angel on your left shoulder. You didn't know that, but the Muslims know that. You knew that? Good man. Abdul knew that. And here, when you were born with an angel sitting here and another angel sitting here. This angel records your good deeds, right, Abdul? Just say yes. And no, wait, I'm not finished. You're going to drink. This angel records your bad deeds, right? Yes. Credit, debit. It's just like a bank account. Correct. Credit. And how do you get your credit? Praying 5 times a day. By doing the shahada, which means there's only one God, but la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. There's only one God but God. Muhammad is His prophet. You say that? You're going to say that as well? Boy, this guy's good. What am I going to say next? What's the third one? The third one, you do the Ramadan fast, which you're doing right now. What are you doing drinking? You're supposed to be fasting. Better put that down. There you go. So much for obedience on this guy. I got you red-handed on that one. So the Ramadan fast you do from sunup to sundown, right? And then you do the zakat, which is 10%. I want you to make sure you give Jeff 10% today of everything you own. Are you? From his lips to your ears, you heard him, right? And then you do the Hajj. You go to Mecca once in your lifetime, right? You do the Hajj. So that's the 5 things you do. And by doing those 5 things, you earn off your salvation. That's it. Is that how you earn salvation? Praying every day? Doesn't prayer earn your salvation? You fast, right? Doesn't that earn your salvation? No, doesn't. So how do you earn your salvation?
Ask for repentance and forgiveness and be baptized and reborn.
So there's not a thing you can do for your salvation. You've asked for something. So who saves you? Absolutely. Do you see the difference here? Are you following the difference here? See, these Muslims all over the world have to do these 5 things to work off their salvation. It is a man-made salvation, has everything to do with what he can do, and you don't have to do a thing. You just have to say one thing. Ask God into your life. That's it. Jesus has done it for you. When did he do it for you?
When he died on the cross.
There you go. 2,000 years ago. He already did it. Done. You're already saved. And you know you're going to heaven, right?
Yes.
Do you know you're going to heaven? Nope. He got that one right. No Muslim has an assurance of salvation. No Muslim knows where he's going or she's going. Why? Because when you get to heaven, those records, the records of your good deeds and the records of your bad deeds are put on a scale, and hopefully your good deeds outweigh your bad deeds, right? Just say yes. And if they outweigh your bad deeds, then you are given permission to walk across a razor-sharp bridge called the Sirat. And as you're walking across, hell is below you. It's a big, big lake of molten pus that's bubbling below you. As you're walking across, God can throw you down at any time. No Muslim knows whether they're going to make it across. Not even Muhammad knew. Your prophet knew that he could make it across. And that's the problem with your God. My God already says, believe in me and what I did on the death and resurrection on Jesus Christ. Believe in my Son, coming to earth, dying and rise again. That's all you have to do, folks. It doesn't cost you a thing. You don't have to pray 5 times a day, do the Hajj, do the Zakat. You don't have to do any of those 5 things. You just have to believe in Jesus Christ. Woo, what a God we've got. Amen. Now, for those of you who have been watching this little scenario going on between Jennifer and what's your name? Abdul. Abdul. Today you're Abdul. Just forget the other one. You're Abdul. Did you see what's this little scenario going on between these two? Who would you rather be? Whose seat would you rather be in? Her seat or his? Everybody would rather be there. Why? Because this God comes my direction. This God enters time and space. This God gives us a name. This God comes our direction. He didn't need to come down. Yet he chose to come down. He chose to enter time and space. He chose to walk and talk in the cool of the day with Adam and Eve. And he chose to call out, where are you? Remember that? Genesis chapter 3, verse 8 and 9. Where are you, Adam and Eve? Why are you hiding from me? He knew where they were. He knows everything, doesn't he? He's omniscient. He's omnipresent. He's omnipotent. And he says, where are you? Because he wanted to know where Adam and Eve were. What a God we've got. Man, it just kind of give me the heebie-jeebies to think of that kind of God. Your God's done nothing like that. Your God is even incapable of coming on earth. Your God never came to earth. Is unable to come to earth. My God can come anytime. Did he just come that time? Jennifer, did he come in another time? Did he come and wrestle with Jacob? Right? Was he with Moses there in the burning bush? Talking as a burning bush? So he can take on any form he wants, right? Wasn't he leading the children of Israel through the desert during the day? That means as a pillar of cloud during the day and a pillar of fire during the night. That means our God can take on any shape he wants. Ooh, what a God we've got. But when he was wrestling, he better have a pair of arms and a pair of legs, right? How do you wrestle? I know, you're starting to get jealous, aren't you? You want to get home, don't you? Should we let him home? Come on home, come on home, come on home. Folks, can you see we're talking about 2 different gods? Don't ever confuse that. Muslims will try to say that we share the same God. What they will do, they'll say this. Now, I know there aren't many Muslims in this area, but when you come across them, what they'll say is this. You open up the Bible, the Arabic Bible, and what's the name of God in the Arabic Bible? And the name of the God in the Arabic Bible is Allah. Why? Because that is the generic name for God in Arabic. The difficulty is, Eric, are you the only person named Eric?
No.
There are other people named Eric, right?
Yes, sir.
You've met them.
Some of them.
And they're not like you, are they?
They are not.
But they have the same name, right?
Yes.
But they're not the same person.
Nope.
So there could be many people called Eric who are completely different.
Yes.
In the same way with Allah. There are many people called Allah or Jeff or Jay or Abdul or Jennifer. There are many people who have our names, but they are not the same just because you share the same name. And make sure Muslims see that. What you need to tell them is ask them one simple question. When they say we share the same God, say, well, right now, see if your God can come right now and talk to me face to face. See if your God can have a relationship with me. My God can have a relationship. Ooh, I love that. My God listens to me 24 hours a day in any language, in any direction, at any time, saying anything. I don't have to say the same thing every time. In fact, I usually pray to God about what's happening that day. I talk about the crisis that's happening that night. I talk about what's happening in my life. I want God to reveal himself to me face to face. Your God can't do it. Don't ever say we share the same God. If you want my God, you need a bigger God. Come on home. His name is Jesus Christ. What a God we've got. What a God we've got.